What? My little impression of Little John right there. What? Somebody's going to say, okay, I know it. Anyway, hey, welcome to the call. This is Mike Alleman, and hopefully y'all are hearing me just fine. Let me see the little green thing. Oh, let me check my volume. Could be low. It was doing this to me earlier. Nope, we're good. We're good. Hey, welcome to the call. This is Mike Alleman with Michelle Alleman. You see her on another screen there. This is our team call. We do this every single Monday night, 8:30 p.m. Central Time. That's the middle of the country. Well, not really the middle, but a little bit to the right. Close to the East Coast and the West Coast. Anyway, we're at 8:30. You're at the right place right now. Hey, look, we've been doing this for 13 years, and we've done some crazy calls. We've done 6:30 in the morning, which I know probably everybody right now just like cringed. I'll tell you, it was even worse. We did 6:30 in the morning every single day, and that was over a year we did that. And I'm talking about every single day. I think there's a holiday or two where we were traveling where we couldn't do it. But this has been fun for us. We've been doing this for 13 years. Our lives have been changed tremendously. There is nothing that when I look at the opportunity that the Alliance brings to the table, there's nothing fires me up more than to have people that we know and that we've come to love and are trying to help and encourage and grow. It is just incredible what we can really do with this business. And as incredibly challenging as the COVID-19 virus has been, we've been in a tremendous, I call it just, we've been the bird dog seat. We're like way, or whatever they call it, the bird's eye, whatever they did on pirate ships. I probably messed up a whole bunch of analogies right there, but we've been in a unique position to win, and the way we've adapted in this time has just been incredible. So if you're brand new, again, welcome. If you've been around with us for a while, hey, welcome to the call too. We really get excited about it, and couple of announcements before we get started. So tonight is team call, Mondays at 8:30. If you're brand new, you should be listening to Megan Hurd. She's got a special Slack channel set up for the brand new people on trainings and what she's got planned for the week. So you want to make sure if you're in that group to pay attention to the Slack channel. If you don't want to know what I'm talking about on Slack, well, then ask Megan Hurd, mhurd at allemangroup.com. So make sure you're doing that. Tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, I already explained what that is. We have the larger organization, our parent organization, the FITS group. We plug into their national sales meeting, and that's where we get to recognize all of our superstars for the week, people who've done well on their production, as well as recruiting. And it's also a chance for us to get to recognize brand new people. So if you have not sent your picture to Megan Hurd to be recognized, otherwise you'd be like me. When I turn on my video, you're going to be just like this. You're going to be a silhouette. Okay. That's all you're going to be. You're just going to be like a little outline, and you won't be a real person. We want to see you and see your picture. Also, if you've written your first app, we're going to recognize you. Okay. So, and we want you to be ready. So make sure you got your camera on or your camera ready. The one on your phone, the one that we're talking to right now, the microphone. You just want to be ready when we get to that part and they announce you as your first time writer. You want to smile, look nice, and say what you did. So a lot of good things coming up on that. Okay. Michelle, check on our guests. All right, cool. So you want to make sure you've got that happening. What else can I tell you about? So we have tonight. I'm waiting for it to pop up here on the screen list. But I don't know if y'all noticed. If y'all not noticed how, let me stop the share right there for a second. If y'all have not noticed how the leaderboards work at the Alliance, we were very big on recognition, extraordinarily huge on recognition. Okay, and I'm going to show you here a leaderboard that is just, it's our like personal leaderboard, and I'm going to tell you that it's kind of a secret because I got a preview into what's going to be announced in tomorrow's call. It's crazy how I did this. I snuck in. You may even want to say I hacked into it. All right, so Let me expand this out here for a second. And what we'll do is we'll zoom, 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 zoom. Hey, look at this. We got like Jonathan and Megan. Look how close you are. 125 is what we're shooting for. Okay. You are at 123.36. This is brand new information. You ain't never seen it. It could change again tomorrow, but that's where we're at right now. It's like as of yesterday. Okay. Like if you looked at the other leaderboards that everybody else sees, you don't have that much. But I'm going to tell you, there was a shakeup in the makeup, man. The James and Jane Hill jumped all the way up to the top with 171. They had a big thing issue. Well, that's how that happens. You issue more points, and bam, that's what happens. And then, oh, Megan Wood, she went from number 1 all down to number 3, and it's just crazy what's happening in here. Look at all these numbers. People are winning. Anything above 125 already has won the trip. So chasing it down. We're creeping. We're doing good. But Michelle, you found our guest? I can't hear you. Can't hear you. Can't hear you. Can't hear you. Can't hear you.
Okay, our guest is logging in right now as we speak. So yes.
Cool. Because our guest tonight is sitting in the number 2 spot, and I really want to get excited about that. Let me move this over here out of the way because I want to talk a little bit about it. Y'all didn't know. Hey, it's May, and we're all locked up, and so there's like craziness happening on. So like when May 4th and Cinco de Mayo falls on quarantine, we have Juan Solo. I thought it was funny.
Okay, so I hear that
Cinco de Mayo.
Oh my God.
All right.
Okay, I think our guest is on. Do you see her?
I think so. Not yet. But anyway, we'll talk about her in a second.
She's on, so that's weird.
Okay, well, we'll see if she talks. Anyway, so
you have me muted.
On the phone.
Oh, there you go. She's on the phone.
Can you hear me?
She's there. Hey.
You don't want to. I love you guys. You don't want to see me. That's why I love you. I'm on the phone.
You're missing the best picture I've got of you.
If it's any picture of me, I probably don't like it, Mike Allman.
You were lying on the ground shooting a big old gun. Remember that day?
Oh, I love that gun.
I'll let Michelle introduce you, and I'll say a little bit about the gun.
Okay, well, our special guest today, guys, lives in Florida, and she's been with the Alliance for 4 years. I've known her for 4 years. And Katrina is one of my very best friends, and she has 2 fabulous children, a fabulous husband, and she is really stomping some people this year. I'm so proud of her. We all would love, to just be at the top of the leaderboard. She gets to be at the top of the leaderboard. She's number 2 on the Thailand leaderboard. She's been a solid producer for years, and she is she's just making it happen. And Katrina, we are so thankful to have you on the call today. We appreciate you being here. And if you would just talk to us a little bit about what you're doing this year, how are you making it happen, and what are some of the things that you see that's making the difference for you?
Well, I've got Manzo with me.
All right.
So
you can chat.
I'm happy now.
All right. We saw Manzo eating those hot wings over the weekend. Woo! She's crazy. She is crazy.
Oh my goodness. I was trying to think of something earth-shattering to say, and that's all that I came up with. So sorry for that.
But tell everybody a little bit about you, and kind of how you got started and what you're doing now. And
okay. Well, first I started off as a client. I had bought a new house, and got a mortgage protection form in the mail. I actually got a lot of them. I had no idea that they were all from different companies. Like many of our clients, I had no idea. So I filled one out, and then I got too lazy to even take it to the mailbox, so I called in. I was a call-in lead. I did not buy anything. It was just not, I wasn't convinced that it was something that I needed, and I didn't really understand the purpose of spending that much money. To me, it felt like it was expensive. You know, it was like, I don't know, $70, $80 a month. And in my mind at the time, I was like, I ain't spending I'm not going to spend that kind of money. So I didn't. I did not buy any. I did find myself without a job 5 or 6 months later. And for whatever reason, my husband remembered that we had somebody over at our house. He said, well, if you're going to look for something different than what you've been doing, I have been a claims adjuster for 15 years. Why don't you call that guy who came over here and was talking to us about insurance?
What type of claims did you do?
So I did liability, bodily injury claims. So, you run over somebody with your car, I handled it. And I did that 15 years, mainly litigation and heavy injuries.
That wasn't sales at all.
I guess, I negotiated claims. So as far as I was concerned, we're talking about, people who died or people who were really injured, and, maybe I had liability limits, 100,000, 300,000, 10,000. It just depends on what kind of liability limits I had. I did have to negotiate with attorneys and get them to accept whatever offer I was making. I cannot say that was not without. It helped me because I just talked to so many people. It's sales in a form,
Yeah.
I've got the checkbook. I'm going to pay you so much money. You better accept it. I'm not paying you anymore.
Right.
So when you have like a $2 million, $2 million checkbook sitting in front of you, you're responsible for a lot.
Yes. Yes. And you learn how to talk to attorneys. That must have been fun.
You better.
I won't say who that's like
fun.
talking to.
I used to work for attorneys. I know how humiliating they can be.
Oh,
That's probably really good.
That's the beauty of holding
That was
the
good practice.
ability of holding the money, baby.
That was good practice for making phone calls, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Talk about
Yeah.
how much fun these phone calls are to people in Florida. Because we have some of our agents, like Andy, who lives in Florida. And he's just getting started. Tell us how much fun the phone calls are.
People are fun, period. Sometimes, like Angela's listening to me today, I got the rudest person on the phone. Those people who answer you, Michelle, and they're like, yeah, what do you want? And you try to be nice and you try to slow them down and be like, listen, I'm not a sales marketer. I don't care. What do you want? I don't need anything from you. Goodbye. So you get some of that, but for the most part, just people are really sweet. Right now they're kind of lonely. So it makes it easy just to talk to them, which I'm very happy that I can do. And I can do it without having to get out and beat the streets. Not that I mind either way, but it's a heck of a lot lazier way to do it. And I'm enjoying it. People are fun. If you can get them to stay on the phone with you long enough, you can help them with something.
Right. Now, tell us a little bit about your schedule, this year, kind of and maybe since the pandemic, kind of what you're doing now. Because you've written some $15,000, $20,000 weeks these past few weeks, and you're just passing people right and left. And what got into you? Like, what happened? Was there one thing?
Well, I think getting focused in one spot is a pretty big deal. I'm not jumping up and down saying, okay, I'm going to have to go and do this appointment in the home, and I'm going to have to do this appointment on the phone and this appointment in the home. And I know that seems a lot of people might not realize it, but you kind of have to pick something and do it. And so because I've had some success and I can do things over the phone, that's really what I'm doing the most of. And it's easy for me to just sit in the office. I don't have to talk to people who are not interested at all. If they want to talk to me, if they want to have a conversation, then I'll have it with them. If I feel like I can get to a place where it makes sense and I can help them, I can go ahead and do that. Or if I don't feel like I can, I'm going to get off the phone with them relatively quickly. It doesn't take a 30-minute drive or a 45-minute drive and sitting down with them in their home 30, 45 minutes, only to at least 30, 45 minutes, right? Just to talk to them. So I've got more than 2 hours invested in something where people are not interested, right? And in this case, I don't have to do that. I'm on the phone, so I've chosen this is what I'm going to do. I get on the phone, I talk to them, check their interest, try to help them if I can, and then I'm moving on. And what that's enabling me to do, Michelle, is to be a lot more efficient. So let's say before I was working 3 days in the field, I'm probably sitting more appointments now than I was because it just doesn't take me as long.
That is so earth-shattering, like for us, because we know how it is to be driving 2 hours to get somewhere and to invest a lot of time in that. And so like what you're telling me is like you're turning that same time around, and instead of doing one appointment into 2 hours, you've done maybe 4 pitches, right?
Right.
3.
Either that or 2 or 3, and I would be doing. I'm not driving, so I'm able to find a lot more interest quickly, right? I might not be pitching anybody. Like if I don't see anything that I can help them with, if I don't build some pretty good rapport with them really quickly, I'm not pitching them a thing. Mm-hmm. And the beauty of that is that I've got about 5 million other people I can call. Not that I don't care, I do, but I'm not trying to push myself on somebody like I would be booking an appointment. I'm checking interest immediately, and that's saving a tremendous amount of time.
So tell us a little bit about who you're calling. Are you calling some leads? Are you calling current clients? Are you doing both? What are you who are you selling these days?
I'm doing both. So I have current clients that I'm calling. I get current client leads as well, which is a lead type. They are not my current clients. They are somebody else's client that was abandoned. They might not work with us anymore or might not have had another agent go out and check out their policy for a long time. So I'm selling those. I guess I would consider that a lead, somebody who's got insurance, but not through me. Okay.
Okay.
Or maybe they did have insurance and they don't currently have it. So there's just a lot of different clients that I have. I'm selling referrals. I'm able to sit on the phone and take calls from people who just randomly call me and said, hey, my mom said to call you. I need some insurance. I mean, seriously. I didn't have as much time to do that before. If they were calling me and I was in the field, I couldn't just take a call like that. I was in a home a lot of times, or driving to a home and trying to field calls from agents and things like that. So I have a lot more time where I can be still and actually set times to talk with these people when I can talk to them. I can book 3 or 4 appointments within a very short period of time because I know one may or may not answer, and I've got a bunch more that I can call, boom, 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 immediately. So I can book 2 or 3 appointments at 5 or 5:30 or 6 o'clock. and I don't have to worry about missing any because they know I'm calling them and I'm going to call them within a specific period of time. I'm not worried about it.
Now tell us.
So, the answer is every single one.
Wow. So you're booking more appointments. You're going through the nose faster. You're getting referrals. Can you talk to us a little bit about how you're doing? How are you getting referrals? What are you saying in the home or how are you getting referrals on the phone now? How are you doing that?
So, I don't really have extreme methods. You know me, Michelle. Mike knows me. Some people do, some people don't. But I think probably the biggest thing is that when I'm talking to somebody, when I'm helping them, I'm doing everything that I can to let them know that I actually care, right? So I'm spending a lot of time with them trying to figure out what their needs are. If I can figure out what their needs are and make sure that I get them set up with the right policy, I'm typically spending quite a bit of time with them. And then they like me because I explain things to them. I don't skirt over things. I explain to them what they have, what I'm recommending, and why. I don't make any sales pitches, at least I try not to, where people are confused about what they're getting. You know, like I wouldn't want to see anybody think that they had, like I had a lady today, you know, she thought she had $80,000 term. Well, she had $40,000 term, $40,000 accidental. She thought she had 80.
Wow.
She doesn't have 80.
Wow.
I don't like doing that. I feel like it's deceptive. Now, do people forget what you give them? Yes, they do. But I'm spending a lot of time with people explaining as best I can what they have. That way, they know that I'm actually trying to help, not just try to sell something to them. And then they remember me. So I got a referral call today. One of my clients had converted some policies over in February, March. And, you know, it was the lady's son. And he called me. He's 25, you know, and we did a $200 a month IUL. And I didn't really have to spend a lot of time saying who I was or what I did because his mom knew me. His mom told him to call me. So
Right.
He did.
Right.
It was very simple. And I spent a lot of time with him. Now I'll do one for his wife and I'll do one for his daughter probably next month because his wife is furloughed right now. So they're trying not to go crazy on the bills, which makes sense. But I mean, I guess the point is I didn't ask for that referral. You should ask, of course, right? But a lot of times I don't have to ask. People know me. I've built enough of a relationship with them, and I'm real enough with them that they don't feel uncomfortable calling me.
And you talk
Hey,
about
so-and-so needs
products.
insurance.
Yeah, and you talk about other products that their kids could use, you know?
Yeah. We just talk, and we get really comfortable.
Now, I want to talk about maybe about a month ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, we first got started on this whole telephone thing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I want to talk about that. Our team needs to hear this, Katrina.
Did they hear your side of that conversation too, Michelle?
They can hear all of it. You can hear all. Yeah, you can tell them all of it because.
So what I really love is that, you know, the people that we're around, I have relationships with, the people that are with the Alliance. Michelle is a good friend of mine. You know, Manzo's here. She's a good friend of mine. These are all people that I have worked with and I'm happy to share with. And frankly, you know, I was freaking out because you change everything I do and the way I do business, especially when I've been doing well. And then you tell me, wait, you know, something completely out of your control is happening and you cannot any longer do what you do. You can't do it that way. You're not allowed. Or you might be allowed, but people don't really want to see you. There's just a tremendous amount of uncertainty there. So number one, that freaked me out. Like, and I can't just get on a national call and say, oh my God, I'm freaking out. So what do? I call my friend, you know? So Michelle was one of the first people I called. And, I mean, we were freaking out together. How are we going to do this? Because we like people. We like to go see them. They may be strange, but for the most part, we quite enjoy being around them. And we like sitting there and building relationships with them and helping them. And over the phone is a different dynamic. And we weren't sure who to call. Should we be calling these Facebook leads? Should we be calling our clients? Should we be calling our regular leads? Oh my God, this guy is falling. What are we doing? We had no idea. So we talked a lot on the phone. And even as we were having some success, we were still nervous. So we kept talking, and we've continued to talk, you know, and that's why, you know, number one, you have friends because you like them and you have friends, but you also have friends who are in the same boat as you, and you guys can share each other's burdens. And that's really what we did, you know. Some say we might have complained a lot. I'm pretty sure we did, which is fantastic. Just to let you know, we all complain, including, you know, people who write a lot of insurance. We get frustrated, we get scared, we get worried, we get mad, we complain. We just don't complain in front of everybody. We're selective in who we complain to.
But we just kept going.
Well, we have to talk, we have to complain, but it doesn't mean we stop. We just encourage each other, and knowing that we're in the same boat, that we're all feeling nervous, that we understand that, and that's okay. And then we're able to move on instead of parking it there and just not doing anything. It's not a complain and park there and idle. It's a complain, oh my God, help me, help me, help me. You got this, you can do it. And then we move on, you know?
Right.
And that's what we did, freaking out and all.
Well, and here's something else I know that you did recently, Katrina, it's coming up soon, but I know we talked about it maybe a week or two ago, but this customer that you had, that you wrote some policies for, but you're going back to do maybe $100,000 annuity or more. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Or
yeah, it was actually one that I just wrote. So it was an actual lead, final expense lead, a mail-in lead, and the people were just rednecky, kind of crazy. The type of people I'm the most comfortable with. He was like, we don't have anything else to do. We're getting tired of not seeing people. Come over. We'll sit on the porch. So, you know, we did. And I don't know exactly why they mailed in the form. Honestly, if you ask somebody flat out why they mailed in a form, many times you're not going to actually get an answer. So I would always caution against that. I would just start asking questions that are not so open.
That's huge right there, Katrina.
Yeah.
Just ask questions.
Ask questions, you know, and I like leading with this. You know, some people fill this out because they've got insurance and they're concerned maybe that they don't have enough, or maybe they are trying to save money, or they don't have any insurance at all. Like, where are you? Which one of those is you? Why do I ask stuff like that? Because as soon as you ask an open-ended question like, why did you fill this out? 99% out of all your clients are going to say, I don't know. And then you're not going to know where to go.
Now you're on the defense.
Right. Then you're like, oh, well, I don't know why I'm here. Bye. Well, that's stupid. I mean, you got to figure out how to help these people. So basically what I did, you know, is that was basically what I said. Like, okay, have you got insurance? Do you not have insurance? And I said, oh yeah, we've got some. I said, bring it here. Let me see it. And yes, if you ask me if that's exactly what I said, that is absolutely exactly what I said.
But you know,
they invited me there.
But it's the way
they wanted me there.
And it's the way you say it too. Like you say that with conviction and determination. Like you're not going anywhere until they their policies on the table, right? That's how you say
Right.
it.
And it's not like, I mean, it's not a threatening kind of thing. They just know that
They know
I
that
need that
you
and it
care.
will help
They know
them.
that you care.
Yeah. So pretty soon in, I found out that there was another agent, not with the Alliance, with somebody, with another IMO who had sold them a couple of Phoenix Nassau Re term policies. And here's the beautiful part about this. You guys, not only do you look at the policy itself and look at the coverage, look at the face amount, look at everything like that, you need to look at how it was underwritten. Now, I was sitting on the porch with these people. There were several ashtrays on the porch, okay? The way they spoke and the way they handled themselves, I knew that they smoked. Now, I always look at the application in the back of the policy. I want to know what their rating was. I want to know how they answered the questions. It just so happened that they had recently gotten this policy, and the agent was like, oh, he had a policy before, it was bad, it wasn't good. They were only getting like $25,000 for what they were paying. Well, turns out that was a permanent or semi-permanent policy rated for tobacco. Was it what they wanted? No. Was it bad? No. It was actually rated correctly. This guy turns around, writes them a term policy, which is fine. They wanted a larger amount of coverage. They needed to have a term for that. I completely agree and understand. However, he wrote it non-tobacco. Now, writing it, if it's over 2 years old, it's past the non-contestability period. One could argue that you don't really have much of a leg to stand on. However, this policy was just written. So I looked at it and I said, do you guys smoke? He's like, yeah, like as long as I can remember. I said, oh, all right. So I pulled out the application in the back of the policy because it's required to be a part of the policy when they write it. So I looked at the question that says, do you, use this, and this? And its question is answered no. So I showed him that. He said, well, that's bull. We sat here and told him we smoked. I said, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. He said, here's the bottom line. If this policy pays out, if something happens and you die, in the first couple of years, if this happens, it will, one or two things will happen. It will pay out nothing, or it will pay out what it would have paid out with a smoking rate. I don't know how every individual company works. I have no way of knowing that, but I just tell them what I know is reasonable truth, right? They could either completely rescind the policy and say, sorry, we're giving you your money back, you have nothing. Or they could, sometimes they'll choose to pay less as if it was based on a tobacco rate. So either way, it's not what they want, right? They want that $75,000, $100,000. They were not going to get it. And they were bothered by that fact. But I didn't tell them that. I let them see it. So when we figured that out, what I ended up doing was writing a term policy for them, which is what they wanted. We wrote it for a little bit less coverage. Instead of 100, I think it was 75 or 80,000. Tobacco rating. Mm-hmm. I made sure that it was approved. He had some questionable stuff. I had to call, get an underwriting opinion and make sure I documented it well so that things got approved quickly, because I was noticing with him that he was frustrated. The agent took a while to get his approved. Next day, it was done, no problem. I found out she worked for Publix. She had money with the guy. I don't know how I came across this. I'm just talking to the guy. And his wife is, she quit working. Her health was not, her blood pressure and stuff was bad. She was stressed out, so she decided to stop working. Long story short, she had moved money, part of her 401k with another advisor. They were mad. I said, give me that paperwork. Like, bossed them around, because they knew I was there to help. So she brought it to me, and we talked about that. I said, okay, I'm going to get you with my guru on this. I think I know what I need to do. I'm going to get somebody else on the phone. I want to have a conversation about this, because, I mean, she's 50 some odd years old. She did not agree that it was good for her to be losing any money. She needs to retire on this at some point. It needs to earn money. There's a lot of things that need to be done. I ran the illustrations already for the annuity. I knew that what they had wasn't going to be enough to pay them what they wanted to make in 7-8 years when they got ready to actually start taking the money. I made an appointment. I set it up with Chris, because that's over my head. I can't do any additional investments. He's got to look at it and find out, okay, how do we get this lady the $1,000 a month that she is wanting? So that's what we did. I set up an appointment. I wrote a $75,000 annuity. Chris has got the other, 28,000 that he's going to invest in equities, so that we have enough reasonably to make sure that she gets she gets $1,000 a month. And they like us so much that when he gets ready to sell his public stock, guess where it's going?
Right to you.
Right here.
Right to you. I love it.
$500,000.
You know what I hear is that people like people who lead them, and you were leading them, and you didn't have any hesitation about, I've got a guy, and you're passing the ball to Chris so that y'all can get it done together. So, okay, one last question, final question, then we're going to close out. Tell us a little about that picture that Mike has on the screen right now. I know you remember it. You were laying on the ground. So why were you there? Tell us, what you did to get there. What was it?
You missed out. I'm telling you, Mike got to shoot that gun. You did not. You little stinker. Won't do that again.
And we were the only two that actually got to shoot it.
Yeah. Well, and then I went out.
Everybody got to shoot a lot of other little guns.
Tell him, Mike, it was a certain amount of production you had to do that month to be able to do it. And I think I was with my sister. She had cancer, so I wasn't able to go on that trip. But.
Yeah, it was 20,000 plus production, plus 2 recruits. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Thank you, Angela. Yep. But it was like it had to be a certain amount of months in a row at that point, I think, because if you'd hit it one time, you got to shoot this and this and this gun. If you hit it this many times, then you got to shoot this and this and this gun. And then we were the only ones that hit it enough time to get that's a Barrett 50 cal sniper rifle. You can't hold them.
You know what?
It would tear you apart. It's a lot of fun to shoot. It's a very, very.
You couldn't hardly see the target from where we're at. And and this is something I have to admit. I have to admit it, Katrina. That when you shot, you did hit the target. When I shot, I was questionable whether I hit the target or not.
You did not.
But
Mike
one
Allman.
thing I will.
I'm leaving it to questionable. It was arguable. I hit something. It must have been ground.
The awards are fun. The relationships that we have when we're there are fun. And I remember they made me take pictures that night. I was at my sister's house, and they photoshopped me in to that whole, I don't know.
Yeah,
there's a magazine.
A magazine article or something. So
yeah, a whole bunch of us are standing in front of a Hummer, and Michelle was not there.
But it really did look like she was there.
That's right.
Katrina, we are just so happy that you were able to come on our call tonight. We know you're busy. We know you're out there slaying it. You're killing it. You are just a beast, but you are sweet, and you keep working, and you keep doing it. And you were a person who didn't even purchase the insurance when you first saw this person come into your home to sell it to you.
My husband's a hard sale. I don't know what to tell you.
So it just goes to show you that anybody can be turned around. and anybody can be a top producer if you want to be. So I'm going to turn this call back over to you, Mike, but I so much appreciate you, Katrina. And I know you really helped our team. I know I got a lot of nuggets. I hope they did too. And back to you, Mike.
All righty.
Thanks,
Thank
Michelle.
you. Thank you so much. We did have one more question, Katrina, if you got 1 second.
Sure.
One of our agents was asking about how do you balance out, with kids, both the kids you got home, with the schoolwork and trying to work your schedule, phone work. How do you schedule all that in and make it work?
My answer is use whatever resources you have. I am married. I have a wonderful husband. He is fantastic in making sure every little detail is taken care of. I realize not everybody has that option. They may or may not have spouses. Some of their spouses are not very useful in that category. Some of them are. I mean, this is what I will tell people, and this is big for me because I don't want to give anybody an excuse. If you don't have a spouse, I don't want to say, oh, I've got a spouse, and then somebody say, oh, well, I can't do that because I don't have one. No. What resources do you have? Sit down and find out what you have available to you in order to make sure you carve out time that you can work. There's something, for the most part, that most people can do some of the time to help them get in uninterrupted hours of work. Then when you're with your children and you need to do stuff with them, you're not feeling guilty because you're not working. You need to set the time where you could have uninterrupted time. And if you need help trying to figure out what resources you have, ask. There are people who can help you think about that. But then when you're with your kids, be with your kids. Don't be trying to make phone calls and sell insurance policies with your kids tugging on your shirt sleeves. I mean, that's just my thought process on it. I'm pretty blunt when it comes to that. I love my babies, but I cannot be effective with them talking as I'm trying to work. So,
And I think what you just said is completely, I mean, it's hugely powerful because, whether you got, like you said, whether you got a spouse or not, you got to look at what resources you have available and which ones are going to support you and letting you do what you need to do, and at the same time, it is important that you make sure you have your time with the kids and everything else. Looks like Michelle got another quick question. You didn't know this was how this is going to work out.
It's time for bed.
Huh?
Les says I have to get out. He's going to bed.
Gotcha. Well, thank you, Les. I mean, resources, you're great. Anyway, guys, I know it. Michelle wanted to know where I'm at. I'm on the bridge of the Enterprise. I know it's not Star Wars or anything like that, but it's just one of them things. Hold on. Wait, I think, no, this is the other one. This is the Star Trek. I mean, I got all kind of things I can be on. Look, I can be in Thailand. I can be in Jade Mountain. I mean, even up against.
I'm going for the Enterprise, Mike. I'm going for the Enterprise.
This is the real background. I'm in a basement with a cold, dark wall. So.
Thank you, Katrina. We love you. Thank you so much.
We love you too. If you need anything, y'all are welcome to call me. Anytime.
Excellent.
We had a ton of people on this call tonight. We had like 23 people on tonight. It was great.
Love it, guys. Hey, y'all get out there, make it a great day. Don't forget sales meeting in the morning. Let's keep rocking and rolling, and let us help you. We got some good things coming up. Talk to y'all soon.